Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, take a look at another baker's dozen issues of Gold Key's Tarzan of the Apes from 1966 and 67 from my collection. Okay? Let's move these guys out of the way. So, it's been a few months since I've done any Tarzan stuff. And the last batch that I showed, I guess I ended with the comic adaptation of Tarzan of the Apes. Remember, Gold Key had several years earlier been together with Dell Comics. Dell had published the Tarzan books, just using the title Tarzan. And when Gold Key Western Publishing split from Dell, they brought their the licensed characters with them, because I guess they had the license. And among them was Tarzan. And when they did that, they kept the same numbering system, had the same creators and stuff, but they did change up the title from just Tarzan to Tarzan of the Apes. So, and then for several years up until he passed away, was being drawn by Jesse Marsh, and then Russ Manning took over. And that was about shortly after that is when they started doing the adaptations of the Tarzan novels, drawn by Russ Manning and primarily written, maybe exclusively written, by Gaylord Dubois. And I can't help but think it was at least partially the because of Russ Manning that they started doing the adaptation of the novels. It's just too coincidental to me that just a few months after he took over the title, that they started doing the adaptations. And they pretty much did a good job of it. Especially initially, they kind of maintained the adaptations to one issue, at least initially, which means they had to leave a whole lot out. It was so it's just basically a little more than like the outline of the novels. But they were good and fun, and it was a lot of good Russ Manning stuff. So here we're going to. So last time I ended with Tarzan of the Apes. Well, this one time we're going to start off with the very next issue, which is the Return of Tarzan. And here you see they've got these great cover paintings, and I'm not sure who did this. If it was because along through here the style of the paintings changed a little bit, but it still may have been George Wilson when he was, because he kind of made his characterization look more like Russ Manning's interpretation. So here we have Tarzan. It's the Return of Tarzan. So it's Tarzan. This is when he first met. He's with Jane, and he first met. Went to Opar, the lost city of Opar, and met Queen Law, and the that were usually described as the frightful men of Opar, who were very nearly apes themselves. Of course, technically, all humans are apes, but we're just talking here. That's 156. And has the very next issue is another great cover. I like this cover painting a lot. And this is one of my favorite Tarzan novels, is The Beasts of Tarzan. Again, just one issue adaptation. Has Russ Manning, and it kind of starts all after, well into the story. A lot of the background and surrounding stuff was always left out, like the actual kidnapping of the baby, because this involves, of course, Tarzan and John Clayton, and Jane Porter are married and have had a child. And the villain from the Return of Tarzan is Nicholas Rokoff, and he's kidnapped the baby and now snatched Tarzan, and he's marooned him on Jungle Island. He makes friends with the apes. And so, I love this one. Some really nice, of course, all of Russ Manning's stuff was really nice, and I had two copies of this issue. Then the next, we skip a few, because this one's is issue number, what's the issue number? 161, and that was 157. So along in there they also had the Son of Tarzan. Yeah, the Son of Tarzan. But I don't have that issue, but I do have it in a reprint form, which I have shown before. Then I don't know. And then we get to this one. This is a fight for the treasures. When they have doing this is right in the middle of the adaptation of the 5th Tarzan novel, Tarzan and the Jewels of Opar. So he's back to Opar again. But I don't have the first part. I've got 2 copies of this part, but I don't have the first part. Of course, I do have it in reprint trade paperback, and of course, this has Brothers of the Spear backup, which is reprinting from I think an earlier story done by Russ Manning. And all these, now this is obviously, there's no doubt in my mind, this is George Wilson cover painting. And he does some wonderful stuff. But then, just a few issues after that, this was at the time when they had the Tarzan TV series starring Ron Ely, and they did several issues. It was a Tarzan TV Adventures. It was tied. They suspended their regular comic stories and adaptations, and went for this. It was just a few issues. I think it was like 5 or 6. I don't remember. This is the only one that I've got that I know of. I think I may have 1 or 2 others, but aren't with this bunch, and they're probably elsewhere, or if they're just whatever. But as you can see, photo cover, and it was not just doing that, taking photographs from the show, putting on the covers or in the interior. Here's Ron Ely as Tarzan, but different artist. And that's unusual. I don't know why Russ Manning wasn't doing it, because he does come back. But this is Tarzan with Cheetah. This is based directly on the TV series, or tied in with Doug Wildey artwork. Oh, some great stuff. He was a beautiful artist, and just as wonderful in this as Russ Manning was as well. And it really made him look resemble Ron Ely. But the boy Jai is also in here, the whole setup. But I'm not sure if it was in this or in something else that I had with a reprint. But it also, as well as having Cheetah, Nekima also makes at least one appearance in these stories. So he's got Nekima and Cheetah. And if you're a Tarzan fan, you know who Nekima is. Nekima, the little monkey. That's all. Then we have a few issues later, but still, while the show is on TV, because it says now on TV here. So, and this is part of their adaptation of Tarzan the Untamed, another great cover painting. These are cover prices, all 12 centers. Tarzan the Untamed, authentic Tarzan adventure based on Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan the Untamed. Then we're in issue 2 or 2 later is still, and we're back to, of course, back to Russ Manning doing the art. And this is their adaptation of Tarzan the Terrible, the first part. And this is another one of my favorite Tarzan novels. It has because they have the monkey men in the Lost Land of Valley of Palaoldan. Oh, and I really like these. And it has, but no longer does it have the backup of Brothers of the Spear, but now we have Meru, the jungle girl, the leopard girl, is the backup story. And what issue was this one? This is issue 166. But then we go to have an interruption in there, and with that, now I have just issue with some stories that were doing some adaptation of stories from Jungle Tales of Tarzan, which was the fourth book, Jungle Tales. No, that was Son of Tarzan. Sixth. Oh, doesn't matter. Jungle Tales of Tarzan, which covered several issues because they just did that. I have this one here. I've forgotten which issue this is, but then right behind that is this other issue. But this is my top comics, and it still has this. And the Indicia still lists the same publishing company. So I think this was just reprint for, since there's no price on it, might have been for some kind of special thing. But notice the art has changed. Again, here we have Alberto Giolitti doing the artwork in the Jungle Tales of Tarzan. And of course, Alberto Giolitti did a lot of the. He also did, I think, at least one of the TV. I think I'm not positive. Of course, he's best known for his work on Star Trek and Turok, Son of Stone. Then we're back again. Here's Tarzan and the Golden Lion. This is the beginning of their adaptation. It was two issues, I think. Tarzan and the Golden Lion. And this picks up right at the end of the other one, Tarzan the Terrible. Right at the end of Tarzan the Terrible. And this has Korok in it as well, because he played a part in that. And this is issue, was it, 172. So I have 1, two copies of that one, but I don't have the rest of it, unfortunately. And we skip next is Tarzan and the Ant-Men. I have two copies of part 1 of Tarzan and the Ant-Men, and I have two copies of part 2 of Tarzan and the Ant-Man. This is when this is really getting out there on Tarzan. They have another hidden valley. These 8 people 18 inches tall, and they have a machine, and Tarzan is reduced down to 18 inches, like all the rest of them, these Ant-Men. Then we go here, still Russ Manning doing this artwork. Russ Manning doing the artwork. No, this is here, number 176. And the beginning of, is it the beginning of, yes, the beginning of Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. This is with the knights in shining armor, valley with lost civilization of English knights. And here's the second part. The second part of Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. Still Russ Manning. Still Russ Manning. Then we have this is issue number 179, and we are back to Doug Wildey doing the artwork. Of course, here he's doing his own interpretation of Tarzan rather than making him look like Ron Ely. It's some beautiful, beautiful draftsmanship here. And this is Tarzan at the Earth's Core, the first part of Tarzan at the Earth's Core. I have 2 issues of this, but that's as far as we're going to go this time. We're going to leave Tarzan trapped at the Earth's core. And that's where they ties in to one of his other great series of novels, which is, of course, the Pellucidar series of At the Earth's Core. And long before Marvel and all these others, he was doing a shared universe, because it had Pellucidar, Tarzan in Pellucidar, had other instances when some of his other novels had, when some of his Tarzan characters crossed over into them, and vice versa, usually in just small cameo parts. But because of the tie-in to Pellucidar, which also has a tie-in because the fellow, I can't remember, there was a fellow in that book who set up a communication system with the outer world and the inner world, but he also wound up making communications with having communication with Mars, Barsoom. And that character is also mentioned in another book to eventually tie it into the Moonmen stories. So eventually all of his major series are kind of meshed together into one overarching universe. And that was pretty unique at the time. So that's all I've got this time with Tarzan of the Apes from Gold Key Comics. I want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know what you think of the great Gold Key Tarzan books. This wider array of artists than we usually see. And well, there you are. There you go. Let me know which of the artists you like best. And let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.